It's October and nothing makes it feel more like Halloween than a brand new horror figure. Now, before anyone says this is a trick, Mezco's already given us 2 Sodcutters. Let me show you the treats with this one, and then you can decide if it's right for you. Hello everyone, my name is Paige, and I'm going to be showing you the Baghead Butcher edition of the 112 Collective Theodore Sodcutter. Now, this is an advanced copy that was gifted to me from Mezco Toyz. Thank you guys very much. So there is a possibility that the final version in terms of extra goodies might be different. You're just going to have to wait and see. Now, the previous version of Sodcutter came with a comic. I did not get one with this version, but I did get a Halloween Mez-It pack. If you're not familiar with this, these are the little treats Mezco has been throwing in with some of the October releases for 2023. Inside, you're going to get 3 Halloween stickers, 1 Pumpkinhead Halloween enamel pin, and you also get 1 micro Mez-It. Now, the first one that I got was a black Pumpkinhead Mez-It, and it looks like... Yep, same one. Nice. Now, freebies are always cool, but I know you guys are here for the main event, and I have to tell you right off the bat, I am a huge fan of wraparound art. Mezco collectors are also going to recognize the shoebox style packaging with this offering. Front, back, and the right gives us some preview artwork. On the left, you're going to have the Gangreene Estates logo, and of course, you're going to have the I Love Gold MDX sticker on the front, indicating that this is an MDX exclusive. Now, the box is the same height and width as your standard black shoebox, but this one's a little bit longer in length, which means we might get a few more treats in this one. The artwork continues to the inside of the panel and extends through the cover flap, where you get this pop-up panel art, kind of like the high roller box with the Secret Agent Gomez, leading to an unsuspecting victim's demise. There's also some side panel art as well. Baghead Butcher has 4 tiers of terror. Some accessories have a familiar feel to them if you've had the previous versions, but there's quite a few new additions to help you set this one apart. So by the end of this video, you should be able to figure out if this offering is right for you and your collection. Tray of Terror number 1. Right off the bat, Mezco gives you 6 Graveyard Gremlins in the very first Tray of Terror. These are the Midnight Mayhem versions. So for collectors who may not know, when the very first Sodcutter came out, they offered a 13-pack of glow-in-the-dark Graveyard Gremlins, but they sold out really quick. So I think this was a way to kind of course correct that issue. You get a Gremlin, you get a Gremlin, you're huge, you get 2 Gremlins. Each one of the Gremlins is painted matte black with death red eyes. They all come pre-posed and with their own unique expressions. The sitting rar one, that's kind of my favorite. These little guys will add a lot of personality to any scene that you have, or even make a great midnight snack for Sodcutter. Tray of Terror number 2 and 3. So what I want to do right off the bat is start off with a side-by-side comparison. That way you can see that there is a visual difference between the 2 versions. The long trench coat has a design where there's a wire that's lined through the opening and the bottom of the coat. There's also some sewn in buttons, and the collar and cuffs are the pleather-like material that we're used to seeing. The coat is also very easily removable. Now, a keen eye will be able to see that the pants share the same design as the previous Sodcutter, but with less dirt and grime. The turtleneck is made from a soft, semi-stretch material that can be easily taken off if you remove the head and hands first. Now, I am not recommending that you do this. Do this if you dare. I'm doing this for 2 reasons. 1 is to show you the amount of detail that actually goes into the sculpt work. You can actually see the sculpted veins, muscles that are clearly defined, as well as the misaligned spine from inappropriate stabbing and lifting techniques. The second reason is to show you some of the design mechanics to hopefully help prevent some of those problems people experienced with the previous version. So really quick, because of the design, the range of motion is going to be very character specific. You're not going to get dynamic range from this figure unless you modify it. But you can get more range of motion than you think. A lot of people are going to ask, well, why even put into the time to sculpting that if it's just going to be underneath soft goods? I like to think that the company sculpted it that way just to add value to the overall product. I personally like it because I think it gives you more depth and dimension. You can see and feel where the muscles and the skeletal structure give shape to the character, almost through the soft goods if you look hard enough. That sculpting detail flows throughout the figure, starting with the heads. You get 6 heads, each with their own unique facial expressions, and 5 of those heads have the light up feature. There's a ball peg with a light up board. All you need to do is take 2 of those batteries, stick them in there, tech side up, and then you can choose which one of the heads that you want to have the light up feature. The light up color for this version of Sodcutter has a bloodshot red kind of feature, as opposed to the previous version, which was yellow. Now, the cool thing about this is the light bulb peg can be used with the other versions. So whether you want your baghead butcher to have that don't piss me off yellow eyes, or you want the regular version to have the murder mode activated red eyes, it can easily be accomplished just by switching out the light feature. And the cool part about it is the clothing will hide the design. So nobody's going to know if you have the green or the gray or the blue. Unless they watch this video. Shh. Baghead Butcher also comes with 2 top hats and 1 bowler cap. Now, these are matte black with gray highlights around the wrinkles. Previous version was more of like a dark brown. But again, all these accessories are interchangeable, so it just gives you more options if you wanted to go with the brown on brown or black on green look. Now, each one has eyebrow grooves, so you can tell which direction the hat should be facing. These are a little loose, but if you take some sticky tack, you put it inside the hat, it sits pretty well. Sodcutter comes with 14 interchangeable hands. Each can be used in different combination to hold bagheads, mass murders, weapons of the macabre. You'll get 6 versions of the closed fist. One set's for completely closed, one set's tightly gripped, and the other set is the semi-tight gripped. These hands can be used to hold items such as the pickaxe and shovel. Both are similar to the first version. They have cast iron weathering handles as well as a sculpted shaft. Both also include sculpted wraps, which is a nice attention to detail for anyone familiar with the shovel. The handle and the collar also have rivets holding them in place, and there's also scrapes, chips, and gouges from the step of the blade to the tip of the shovel. You also can use the left or right gripping hand to hold Mrs. Sodcutter's decapitated head. The blue is a nice contrast against the green hair. The strand of hair that you see is detachable, and if you look closely, you can see an exposed piece of the scalp. Yuck. This is a cool feature because you can also use this as a background prop. But if it does bother you too much, you can just throw it in your valise. What's that? Oh, mon ami, forgive me, you're not from France. Valise is a French word for a suitcase or a traveler's bag. Fancy word, fancy things. A doctor-style bag with olive green dragon textured skin, I guess you can call it. It has gold accents on the bag feet, clasp, frame, and the skull latch on there does a very nice job of keeping everything closed. Keeping all your horrifying secrets you may have hidden from prying eyes. There's a set of relaxed extended fingers as well as the semi-grip ones that are good for, well, you know. A come here finger and then 2 okay hands that can be used to hold his lantern. A copper style lantern with slats with cracks in the glass that can light up by placing 2 of the last battery survivors tech side up, and with a flick of the switch, it lights up to show the correct answer is green. And for our final showcase showdown, I saved the best accessory for last, the stand. I mean, come on. I know some people like them and some people don't, but I really like the art on this one. I'm kidding. So how about we do a 5 for 1? You can't be called the Baghead Butcher without a bag on your head, so included in this offering is a bag for your head. The bag is dirty, grimy, and speckled with blood splatter. There's also 2 eye holes so you can see the light up feature. It'll give more of a butcher vibe. There is a wire along the bottom to kind of help with the placement as well. Now, every serial killer knows that the arsenal of weapons is all well and good, but the key to a higher kill rate is your ability to blend in. So you also get an animal pelt vest, a ghillie-like accessory that keeps your heart warm while you're waiting for your next victim. I know what you're probably thinking. This is going to be a pain to lift up the arms and thread the needle, but all you have to do is look at the bottom, find the Velcro tab, and ASMR. And to help you slice through the competition, you'll also get a death-dealing bloody executioner's axe, a curve-handled axe with some stained blood effects on the blade. Okay, so I've had this figure for a couple weeks now, so he's pretty much been broken in, and I feel pretty comfortable with him. The soft goods can be taken on and off without much difficulty once you get used to the anatomy. I've swapped out outfits to try to get different looks, and everything's been holding up pretty well. And yes, this is a color variant of the first version, which shouldn't be really much of a surprise because they've been doing this since they were Aztec Toys. You're going to see some familiar accessories as well. I think if you were considering adding this to your collection, you also need to take into consideration that the fits for this figure are different from the original. So you'll get a few different looks within this offering, and you'll have a few more if you have the first version or if they do another. Have this, I'll probably pick up another one just so I can create the hooded version to kind of cut down on the change out. Plus I'll have 2 lanterns and 2 fur vests. I can see a lot of people using this for some funny shots like Eddie, Vapor, Gomez. There's lots of possibilities. I wanted to thank Mezco Toyz for letting me check this out. The only thing that they asked me to do was tag them and have fun with the figure. If you don't know me, I don't do these often, but I had a lot of fun with this one, so it was just something I felt like I had to do. I mean, look, I built a whole cemetery for this. I also wanted to thank you for sharing your time with me. I hope this video answered any questions that you had about this offering, as well as helps you decide if this figure is right for you and your collection, because honestly, that's all anybody's trying to figure out when we watch these videos, right? So thank you again for watching, and remember, they're just toys. Gotcha. So have fun.